G'day guys, and welcome back to our channel. Or if you haven't seen one of our videos before, I'm Max, Lee's behind the camera today, and this little furball here is Oki. Today's video is going to talk about international travel with your dog, and more accurately, getting your dog from Australia to North America via plane. A year and a half ago, I made the decision to move indefinitely to North America, and my first port of call was figuring out how I could get my adventure buddy over with me. So today's video, I'm going to show you the steps involved, how much it costs, and whether I'd go through it all again. A little background story on Oki himself. Oki's an Australian Shepherd. I got him when he was 8 weeks old. He was just a little teddy bear back then. I was warned against getting a dog as I was only 21 at the time and loved to travel. However, I've been super lucky. Friends have helped look after him when I've traveled overseas, and since then I've been to 30 countries. Oki's now 7 and is currently in Yucatan, Mexico with me. He's up to 4 countries. Just going to give you a quick disclaimer, guys. Coming from Australia is going to be more expensive to fly your dog than most other places. That's because Australia's got really strict rules and regulations for getting your dog on the plane. Flying in North America with pets is actually becoming way more common, so it's a lot cheaper. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about the process involved. As I said, it's really hard to put the dog on your plane yourself in Australia, and it's quite risky, so I ended up going with a third-party pet travel agent called Jet Pets. They're out of Melbourne, and they were really good. I'm really happy with them. After you've picked your travel agent, your next step is getting your rabies vaccinations. Only certified vets in Australia can do rabies vaccinations. The list for them is online. I was lucky enough that one was nearby me, and I went with her. She was really good. She specialised in travelling with dogs. You can choose a 1-year or a 3-year rabies vaccination. I went the 3-year, and I advise anyone to do that because if you extend your trip, it's really important. You don't want your rabies vaccination to run out before you come home because it extends the quarantine time of your dog getting back to Australia. In terms of any sedation for your dog, the vet advised against it for travelling. She said the half-life of drugs isn't long enough and dogs actually become a lot more anxious with it after the effects of the sedation wear off. Oki's out. Okay, so now you've done your vaccinations, your next step is picking a crate. The crate is important as in it has to meet airline standards. In saying that, you can buy it off eBay or other places, but I found the easiest actually to buy it through the pet travel agent as they had in their office a wide range of the different size crates, so I went in there. But they explained to me that the dog needs to be able to stand up fully straight, not be crouched at all, and be able to stretch right out. The plane itself, the cargo area, is kept at 18 degrees Celsius, and they have someone there monitoring your pets throughout the flight. The next step is organising a pickup or drop off for your dog. I lived about an hour from Melbourne, so they were happy to drive halfway and meet me halfway to pick up Oki. I dropped Oki off. It was actually a scary moment for me. It was like giving away my only child for his first ever trip, and I was super worried, but Jet Pets, the staff there were super helpful and they helped put me at ease essentially. They then bring the dog back to near the airport to their office, get a vet sign off, a final one that needs to be done within 24 hours of the dog going on the plane. They also make sure the crate, everything's up to standard, and after that, they'll get your dog on the plane. They send you updates, so they told me when Oki got on the plane. Oki actually had to go on 3 flights. He had to go from Melbourne to Sydney, Sydney to Vancouver, and Vancouver to Toronto. Jet Pets at each of those points have people there to take your dog off the plane, walk them, feed them, make sure they're okay. They also send you updates at these points, which I found really reassuring. So, Oki finally arrived to Toronto. Lee had already travelled back home to Toronto 2 weeks beforehand, and so I'll get Lee in to tell you what Oki was like when Oki arrived at Toronto.
Hello everybody, I'm Lee if I haven't already met you. So as Max said, I was on the receiving end of picking up Oki in Toronto. I got him from the cargo section at the airport at about 5 in the morning. As he got pushed on the trolley in his crate, he was barking at the guy in the green vest the whole time until he heard my voice and he went absolutely quiet. When I opened the cage, he jumped all over me, was licking and was totally excited. Once he could smell a familiar smell and hear my voice, he knew he was in the right place. When I took him home to Barrie, which is about an hour north of Toronto, for the first couple of days he was jet lagged. He was tired in the middle of the day and couldn't quite get on our schedule right away. I just took him outside as much as possible and tried to expend all his energy so eventually he could fall asleep on our sleeping pattern, and within a week's time he was the exact same Aki, didn't show any signs of having any post-traumatic stress from the travels, therefore we're very happy.
So now I've talked about the process and what Aki was like when he got over to Toronto. I'm going to talk about the business end, the cost. I'm not going to lie to you, it was really expensive and I didn't hesitate to pay the money, but I was lucky enough that I'd just been paid out from work. I just quit my job as a paramedic for 7 years and my payout more than covered what it cost Aki, and I would do it all again for the adventures we've had since him coming overseas. So the total cost was 3,590 Australian dollars. The breakdown of where that money went is as follows. Rabies vaccination, including consultation, was $157. The cargo fees and taxes in Canada were $96. And the Jet Pets total fee was the largest one. You going down, buddy? The Jet Pets total fee was the largest one at $3,337. Now this included all of Aki's flights, the crate, the export fee, the veterinary check, the people getting him on and off at either end, the updates, and pretty much them streamlining the whole process with all the paperwork. It is expensive, but even if you flew him on your own, it was still going to be really expensive. Although I'll never know exactly what Aki went through when he was on the plane, I don't regret bringing him over for 1 minute. Some people ask me how I could put Aki through the process of going on the plane. I think if I could ask him and he could communicate to me, he would be more than happy to go through that all again for everything he's got to experience afterwards. It's been 1.5 years and we've had so many adventures. That actually leads me on to the journey we're currently on. We're 7 months into a trip, living full-time in a van, the van we converted ourselves, and we're on the way from Canada to Panama. Aki's been with us every step of the way and has had some epic journeys. He's met squirrels for the first time, he's seen snow for the first time, he's met a bear for the first time, and I just can't explain how nice it's been to be able to do international travel with my dog. It's like always having my best friend with me. He's super chilled when things go wrong, and I absolutely love it. If you guys want to see more of our travels from our last 7 months in the van, check out our Instagram page. Also, if you want to follow on in our future adventures going from Mexico to Central America, hit the subscribe button. We'd also love to hear your feedback. Have you traveled with a dog? What were your experiences? We love reading your comments below, so let us know and we'll see you next time.